Okay. Well, I think we are set up. There's some issue going on with Streamlabs today. It won't let me multi-stream. And I am not sure why. Thanks, Streamlabs. But yeah, for some reason it's not letting me multi-stream. So, no Twitch today, which I guess is fine. I guess I don't have a choice. So since I'm going to play some of this sucker tomorrow, and ideally I'm going to play through the entire Vermintide campaign, which is somewhere. Come on. Yes, I'm going to play through the entire Rat Hunters campaign right there. I decided I'd probably do a little more hobby again today. You know, I had an unboxing stream yesterday, had some hobby today, my desk is a little sticky, I need to take care of that. Yeah, there's the Vermintide stuff. So there's the Vermintide campaign. Since we're going to play through all 3 parts of this tomorrow, which is, we're 4 parts. We got this guy, this guy, this guy. And then we've got Ambush in the Dark. So it's like 3 parts and then a fancy ender. Since we're going to do this tomorrow, I figured I would do some hobby today. Alright. So, first off, I apparently got a little resin on my desk. So, I didn't realize there was drips on my desk, but apparently there was. So, we're going to take care of that real quick. We're going to take care of that real quick. And then we'll get hobbying. So we've got a lot of different projects on this desk today. So many different projects on this desk today. Just like, I have a crazy number of different things going on. And I kind of need to like finish some up and get them off this desk. There we go. Over here. To be thrown in the trash can in a couple minutes. I'm going to wash my hand and I'll be right back. Oh, you're going to throw it in the trash can right now then. Alright, and I'm back. Oh. Okay, so let's talk about some of the hobby projects I got on this desk. Well, I have an entire Start Collecting box for Slaves to Darkness. All painted up, washed, dry brushed, everything. Ready to rock. I have the special edition Dami Mommy Mini. Thank you. I got her all painted up. I've got Kagra's Ravagers all painted up. I've got more Zombo Wolves painted up. And I've got some spooky, scary ghosts all painted up. So these guys are kind of just living at the end of my desk right now. They need top coat. So they're going to get some top coat. And then they're pretty much good to go. They're going to get basing and stuff. I was kind of trying to wait for the basing stuff I have coming in to top coat them, but I think I'm going to top coat them and then do their bases. Also, I have a Gundam I started, so I need to weather. He's almost finished. He needs some weathering, maybe some decals. I've got some Nurgle Terminators from like Skovald's Happy Men or something like that. This unit's called, it's like 3 Terminators and then this guy. I was painting them up for Stargrave because I just felt like painting Terminators one afternoon, and then like as soon as I started painting them I was like, nah, I'm not in the mood for Terminators anymore. So I've got them here on the desk. I've got this cool fucking thing. Look at this thing. How cool is that? Big robot squid with like a big gross brain on the back. That's fucking legit, isn't it? It's like a squiddy from the Matrix. I got him, and I've got a bunch of sort of random cyberpunk minis that I was going to use for Stargrave as well. So I got to finish those up too. They're all 3D printed. I've got, this is called like Skates. No, this is, I don't know. It's some kind of like Chaos Barbarian Warband. I started painting them. I'm really just not feeling them at all. So they might go in a bag until I'm in the mood for them. I've got these orcs, who are wonderful, fantastic minis. I'm just not sure what colors I want to paint them yet. So they've kind of gone through a couple of different color passes. And I've got a bunch of these guys. So these are Dalak for Necromunda. I'm kind of just picking at these. They eventually... I've got too many fucking projects going on. They eventually will look like this. Where they're kind of like pseudo blue skinned. And they're primarily black, but they've got like a couple little detail bits painted in. Right? Because I kind of want them to be sort of matrixy. This guy's a little more complex than the others. But yeah, I want them to be pretty matrixy. I really should have gone with green instead of black, but I was a little worried they would just look like sickly Nurgle. So I tried to go for like the Dark City look instead. I got a bunch of Tyranids that I stripped that I'm recustomizing. So this guy, he'll get his other arm there. And then probably some more customizations, and then he'll be good. I got so much shit on my desk. I really need to finish some things. We're not even talking about that yet. More cyberpunk minis that are 3D printed. More paints. Terrain. That's trash from Candy. I've got some Empire Boys. There's my Varg skier. Oh, I started painting. It was wonderful. And I've got a whole bunch of bats behind him. And then I've got these wolfy grots too. I gotta paint them too. So I have a ton of different little projects going on. And the piece de resistance on them is, for whatever reason, I got a bug up my ass and decided to paint my Titanicus stuff finally. So my idea for it is to essentially paint like a 2-player starter set with some options. Because that's kind of what I have. I have one of the starter sets, and then I have, I think it was called the Axiom Maniple, and it basically gave you one of every robot. So my plan is to do that, right? So I'm essentially painting a starter set for Loyalists and a starter set for Heretics. So this is going to be my Heretic color scheme. So they're kind of They're kind of like Hydra Dominatus, kind of blue with these like splotchy kind of lines, like not perfect kind of sound looking lines. I thought that was pretty cool. And then red cables and red vents and stuff. And then I've got this dirty blue or dirty gold to fill in some of the mechanical detail. So that's the bad guys. Well, the the traders, and then the good guys are going to be a little more complex with their heraldry. So this guy, I'm not splitting any of the areas in color. They're all just one color plus lines. These guys are going to have split areas and lines. So they're going to generally be a little more complex looking. But my loyalists are going to be this kind of cream. This is Drake Tooth from Army Painter. And then a crimson. I think that's heavy red or it's crimson red, one of the two. And then they've got like this copper like pseudo gold. And then blue tubes and blue vents. So, yeah, that's what the loyalists are going to look like. So I've got a couple little like conversions. You probably noticed there's a little bit of conversion work on the other one. Same thing with these guys. They've all got extra spikes. They've got little bits of chain. This guy's got a demon engine head, right? He's fully magnetized as well. So they're all fully magnetized. I fucking love magnets. And then we've got some Warhounds. You can see him. He's got some extra spikes. He had another thing there that I think I literally just broke off. That's going to be impossible to find. Well, shit. Is that it? Is this it? Yeah. Well, I'm never going to be able to find that. That's a pisser. Unless it's this right here. Maybe? Holy shit, I actually found it. What the fuck? Alright, well. Found it and then I immediately lost it on my desk again. Well, he had tusks. So here's his other tusk. So he's going to get his other tusk glued back on. A little bit here. And then got this guy who's got like kind of bull horns. And that's it for the customizations for them. The other loyalists, they have a couple of like 3D printed weapon options that I'm still working on. Like this guy's got a top machine gun, and he's got gun arms, machine gun arms. So like one of these will go on this guy, and then, or maybe I'll just have this guy have 2 machine gun arms and be like Captain Daka. Be kind of cool. I got one of these big fuckers. Super big guy. So this guy has a waist extender. So his waist magnet's a little weak because of it. But it does make him look a lot cooler, I think. Especially in here, because like the these things like don't hang on the top of the legs. But it's a pretty cool little 3D printed piece. And then he's got 2 guns. I dropped these outside and the barrels broke off. So the barrels are over there. I have to glue them back on. But so the loyalists will get they'll get a big mech too. And then I have 2 warhounds behind me that I think are going to become loyalists too. So yeah, so it'll be a nice. You'll be able to run like a couple small mana pools with options, for either loyalist or heretic, and it should result in a pretty cool like starter set, which is more sort of my goal with it. All right, then we got some Imperium guys. Got Brother Bacchus here. We're probably going to work on these guys today, and then I've got the 3 intercessors. I had started kit bashing this guy, and I was like, that's pretty cool. He's got like 3 arms and his shield. I think I'm actually going to turn this guy into Trajan. I think I want a Trajan. I think I'm going to turn him into that. I think that's my goal. So I think he's who he's going to become. And then because I've been watching Book of Boba Fett, I want some Legion minis. Like I don't have enough to do, right? And I picked up all the stuff I showed off yesterday. But this is the really, really fucking... God, Legion is such a great game. The minis are awesome. The fucking rules are great. It's such a wonderful game. This is the really awesome... like Wookiee flyer thing. And you can put different gunners on it like that. So one of the things we're going to start off today is we're going to drill buttholes in all the Wookiees. So we're going to start off with drilling Wookiee buttholes. And then this guy goes in like this. There's a really cool like pod that holds a bunch of bombs that can go in there for the bomber guy. However, you can't have the pod, you can't have the basket in there and have the gunner guy. So since I want to be able to swap the weapons out, I decided that I would just leave the basket off, and then I would just magnetize the guys. So like, there's the Wookiee bomber. He's like, fuck yeah, thermal detonator. It's too cool. He's too cool. So, pretty cool. So the first thing we're going to do today, we're going to start off with some Wookiee buttholes. That's a statement, right? How'd you start off your Sunday? Wookiee buttholes. So inside this thing there, you can see it in there. There's a 3mm hole that I drilled right there in the seat. And my goal is to put a 3mm butthole in on the Wookiee. And then you can see I started to do this one last night, but it wasn't glued well enough to start drilling his butthole. And then when I put him into the seat, he will be able to stick in a little better because it'll be glued. There we go. Let's pull some magnets out. So yeah, I was going to wait until these guys were based to spray them, but I think I'm going to spray them today just so I can get some stuff off my desk so I can feel a little bit more like accomplished, I guess. Because sometimes when you have too much hobby, right, it really can kind of wear down on you and sort of get in the way of your progress. You end up just like futzing with like a billion different projects. And it can actually make your progress worse. Which seems silly, but it's true. Because you're so busy futzing with other projects that like, you're like, oh, I'm going to start this. Oh, I'm going to start this. Oh, I'm going to start this. And part of that is the fact that the human brain loves starting and stopping. It fucking hates, like, going the distance. Right? So sometimes it's very easy to be like, oh, alright, I'm in this thing, it's good, we're all good, I'm starting it, yeah, it's gonna be great, and then you're like, I'm doing it now, I think I'm done, can I finish please, you know? And that's really how the human brain works, unfortunately. So I don't think having a lot of projects like this started is a particularly uncommon thing, which kind of sucks, to be honest, right? Like, I think everybody kind of falls into this problem of also this like trap, right? Like I'm in right now, where I have a billion hobby projects started and none of them finished, right? So the only way I'm getting that like brain complete dopamine is by starting new stuff, because I haven't finishing anything. Come on, Wookiee. Come on. Your butthole ain't that tight, Wookiee. That's a statement for the start of the day. Tell that one to everyone at work. Yeah, you know, I was just telling a Wookiee that his butthole isn't that tight, you know. Alright, I'm gonna open up this Wookiee's butthole too. God, I need to get better blades for this knife. Blades I have suck. My like local not craft store, my local like hobby store only carries these really shitty blades. I need to go to like an actual hobby supply store instead of like a model comic shop. There's one down in Honolulu called Habitat that I've actually never been to. So yeah, you can see these are really nice to screw. It's because they're really just really good hard plastic. All the new Legion stuff is like phenomenal plastic quality wise. Like it's as good as GW. Like the details are just as good, and the plastic quality is just as good. Which will probably blow some fucking people's minds, but it's true. Like the detail on this like Wookiee pilot, right? Like it's just as good as any of the Space Marines I showed a minute ago. Alright. Which way does the butthole go? Which way does the butthole go? There we go. Wookiee buttholes. Wookiee buttholes. Wookiee buttholes. There we go. And with that, we've got 2 magnetized Wookiee buttholes. You know, it can fly around. It's pretty sweet. You'll notice the gun doesn't go into the peg. That's because I filled the hole in, and I was just like, that's fine. Alright, like, it's a detail. It's fine as it is. Alright, the ability to swap it out so I can have 2 different types is worth losing the detail of having the gun like perfectly connect to the platform. Alright, so like that Wookiee's held in there by his butthole really well. So, alright, and then this Wookiee, he also has that tight grabbing butthole action. Right, perfectly fine. So I can swap between the two and have them be actually WYSIWYG. I don't actually remember what this thing sounds like. I think it makes like a bug noise. So yeah. There we go. Wookiee butthole action. For whatever Wookiee we want. Alright. Now let's do some painting. Let me move this guy over here to the side. And close our glue up. And we'll get some painting going on. Alright. Let's see. Do we want to do the guy with the grenades? Yeah, let's do Mr. Grenades. That's pretty cool. We'll do him. So you can see I started filling in some of the blue on these guys. I was actually using the blue, the ultramarine blue, or McCrag blue, I guess, from the magazine I got. You can see since they're painted black, it's not perfect, amazing coverage. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm actually, I think I'm going to touch it up a tiny bit and then call it. And just be like, okay, that's good. Because I kind of like, is this the 6 or the 8? That's the 8. Give me the 6. I kind of like the fact that there's like a little bit of shadow in some spots. I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah. Blasphemy, right? I'm just going right out the fucking pot, boys. Right out the fucking pot. The thing the magazine even tells you not to do. But I can't read. So I am a little wound up. My sister was in the hospital with a death scare, but she is back and out, and that makes me very happy. So I'm a little wound up singing about Wookiee buttholes and whatnot. So I apologize for that. Alright, so we're going to leave him. My goal, honestly, is to get him fully painted by the time we're done stream today. And we're going to do another coat on Brother Bacchus. Same thing. Just really, like, quick. Kind of trying to get that base paint on there. Because Brother Bacchus, I also base painted red. Or base painted black. Like a derp. But instead of looking good, the red looks like shit. So he's going to need some more colors on here. He gonna need some more layers. So yeah, this is the commander from the first, or the lieutenant from the first Imperium magazine, like the first issue. I was not sure what I was gonna do with him, and I was looking through my bits, and I saw this stupid cup, and I was like, you know what? I bet you, if I gave him the cup, he would kind of look like he's toasting. And I'm like, I really like that. Like, from a, like, kind of meme model perspective, I think that's really fun. So I was like, alright, we're going to try that. We're going to see if it actually does. And then I put it on there, and I was like, yep, that's the right option. That's just too funny. He's like that freaking Leonardo DiCaprio meme. It's too good. The cup actually has a little bit of room in it, so I'm actually going to put some red clear resin in there when it's all done. There we go. Just building up that color on good old Brother Bacchus. Alright, where is my super suit? There it is. Leather brown. Leather brown. Well, I had a viewer for a minute. I guess they didn't enjoy my story about Wookiee buttholes. Too bad for them. They're missing out. Missing out on the Wookiee buttholes. Alright. Yep. So yeah, let's soup. So after I paint this, I'm sure I'm gonna have to touch up the blue again, which is fine. So yeah, it was funny. I was totally happy with the Necron kit bash, and then I was talking to a friend on Instagram, and he was like, we were talking about Trazen, and I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool to actually have him in the army, and his model's actually garbage. So I was like, I bet you I could kit bash a fucking legit one. So I decided that I would take that Necron commander and turn him into a cool Trazen. I already kind of have the bits for it. I already pulled out, to be honest, which is even cooler. So this guy, when I was kit bashing him, he just got some more pouches. I thought it'd be really funny, since this guy's throwing a grenade, if he was like obsessed with fucking grenades and had like a dozen of them. So he just pretty much just got like a bunch more grenades. So he's got some on his chest. He's got some, don't normally paint their belts brown. This time I will. Do I want to paint the belt brown? I'm gonna go with no. I think we'll replace that, to be honest. Not a big fan. I don't think I want to do the belts and brown on these Space Marines. Kind of like, yeah, maybe. Fuck, I don't know. Let's look at all the others. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do them in brown. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's find a good green for the grenades. I tend to use like kind of military green. But I want something a little more like bright, I think. What green are you? Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, we'll try this Goblin Green out. See how it goes. I've actually never painted with this. This is Army Painter Goblin Green. Let's swap to that one because you don't need an earthquake while I fucking jerk this bottle off. Yeah, we'll see how this is. It might need more shaking. If it does, then fuck it, we'll grab something else. It's not bad. We can use that. It's just gonna be a really bright green. Probably going to take a couple cuts though, which is fine. Oh yeah, that's a super bright green. It's a lot brighter green than I expected, to be honest, but it's all good. I don't think it's bad. Especially once you get some washes on it, I think it'll look pretty good. I have this nasty habit of picking too dark of colors, and then I really like dark, grimy washes. And it like just makes it way too dark, and I'm like, fuck. So yeah, I just thought it was really funny if this guy had like a unnecessary amount of grenades on him, and he was just like, I'm Mr. Grenade. I thought that was funny. We can paint in. So I don't normally paint, like I normally just let the weapons be like gunmetal or whatever. But in my brain, I always see Ultramarine weapons as having these weird red cases. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I've never actually painted Ultramarines before, so maybe this isn't actually an Ultramarine like thing. But in my brain, when I think of Ultramarines, I always think of them having these weird red weapons. So I was like, you know what? I want to do that this time. I'm just using up some of that red. Well, I got it. So yeah, it was funny. I actually tried to make the like leader of this 3-person team a lady. But all the lady heads I had were all Sister Battle heads. And when I put them on the Ultramarines, it looks like they had pinheads. So I was like, what? So I was like, okay, can't use those, I guess. In retrospect, I probably could have used a head from Stormcast Eternals, and it would have worked really well. So maybe for some more Space Marines when I get them through Imperium, we'll do that. We'll break out the Lady Space Marine action. All right, so let's figure out what gold we want. What gold is this? It's bright bronze. I love that color. It's not what I want. Where are you? You're glorious gold? You look pretty damn glorious to me. Earthquake again. Ah. So yeah, so we'll probably have some ladies in our Space Marine force. I intended one of these to be a lady, but we'll get them in the next time we've got a lady. I'm sorry, the next time we have a Space Marine. So let's see, we've got to paint this thing on the chest. we go. There we go. Okay. Now we wanna paint some of the trim. I do like that these intercessors have less trim than the regular Marines. I mean, maybe they don't, but they feel like they do. Because I'm really not a big trim fan. We'll paint this whole knee pad in gold. I don't know if that's a thing in Space Marines, but should get some gold onto the lower body, which is what we want with it. This guy has like some kind of like weird medallion here. So we'll give him some paint on that too. There we go. Painting in the weird medallion. Everyone's favorite weird medallion. I think this is from a Death Watch sprue. When my friend was getting out of the hobby, he wanted to like purge a ton of his Warhammer stuff. So I bought it off of him, and it's just sort of random mixed stuff. And I've since managed to actually give him some of it back, which is good, because it means he's still in the hobby, which is cool. Oh man, I am not painting straight at all today. Not that I ever do anything straight, but bunch. But I'm not painting gaily forward. So yeah, so I have this weird like mix of Space Marine stuff, which is all really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to painting it, but I have no fucking clue what 90% of it is from. So it's like, well, shit. So like the medallion on this guy could be for like, I don't know, Rabute Gilliman or something, and I would have no fucking clue. I was just like, that looks cool. Looks like a bangle that a Space Marine would have, you know? So yeah, you can see I'm not... Paint's a lot thicker than I thought it would be, to be honest. And I'm not painting super straightly today. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to do this. Here, is what we're going to do. Because painting with my arm up like that fucking hurts. Boop, ba-doop, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Cool. It's going to be a mess up in there. We'll have to clean that up later. Alright. Is that perfect? No. But it'll do until we get to clean it up. So since we got the gold out, we might as well hit these boys too. Might as well. But yeah, so my goal for Imperium is to have everything for it painted before I get the next one. So I think I've got like 2 weeks or so before the next one shows up. So this stuff will all be done way before that. It will probably be a little tough when it starts sending over bigger batches of stuff, like, you know, here's a whole big robot, and here's a bunch of, I don't know, intercessors, like 10 intercessors or something. That might be a little bit harder to do, but I mean, you're talking about a month, right? A month to paint what comes in the magazine is not particularly hard, you know? At least it should be, but we'll see. One of my lights on my fan just went out, so I apologize if the coloring just changed. It's probably nicer now, though, to be honest. Otherwise, it's a little orange in here. We're gonna give this guy a gold knee pad. No, we're not. No gold knee pad for this bro. Only for the other one. He's got like part of his helmet like flipped out, which is pretty cool. I wanted something. Something on him that wasn't just like standard, so yeah, these trims I'm not doing a particularly good job here, I'm not gonna lie. And that's okay. We can clean it up later. That's the glory of painting. You never actually ruin anything. Okay, did I miss anything on you? I feel like I did. Oh, I did. You guys have an Indominus Crusade seal on your left arm. Interesting. Okay, we can paint that in. Man, this paint is so fucking thick. Soup, 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 soup. Soup-a-doo. Soup, soup, soup. Soup, 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 soup. Alright. There we go. So these ones had to be Ultramarines because they have the Ultramarine symbol on their shoulder pad already. Now, it would not take a lot of effort to nip that off, that's true. But I've actually never painted any Ultramarines before. So I figure adding a couple to my, like, Assault Intercessor ranks wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. Come on, focus here, thank you. I thought it wouldn't necessarily be bad, because right now I kind of have, like, a rainbow force for my Space Marines. Where I have Blood Wolves and... not Blood Wolves, Sharks, Space Sharks, and Space Wolves, and Minotaurs, and I don't know, Dark Angels, and there's some White Scars in there, and so I've pretty much been painting my Space Marines sort of however I feel like painting Space Marines at that time, and it's produced this really kind of interesting looking force that's like this big old rainbow. And like headcanon wise, they're all like they're actually all like stolen by treason. They're just like his Marine like YOLO I want this force. It's like God catch 'em all kind of force, and I thought that was kind of fun. And it also means that I don't have to paint like 40 guys blue. You know, I can paint 3 guys blue. And then next time I paint Space Marines, I can be like, oh, these ones, they're Space Wolves, and give them little wolfy helmets and stuff. You know. That's a lot of fun, right? Like, it would probably absolutely living piss off some people, but like, fucking get wrecked. Like, it's cool. It's cool, and I think it's pretty cool. So, I'm quite happy with it. So my goal for this stream is to get one of these Space Marines painted. So, but I'm just sort of working on them all as I have the paint out. So like, I'll just keep using this paint up all that, and it's gonna give them time to dry anyway, which is something they need. So, boop, 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 boop. We can work on Brother Bacchus a little. But yeah, man, I've been watching Boba Fett. Fuck, it's got me on a Star Wars Legion kick again. I really want to play some Star Wars Legion again. Like, holy shit, do I want to play some Star Wars Legion. Like, man, it's so good. Boba Fett, I mean, it's like, I'm on episode like 4 or something. Oh, it's so fucking good. Like, I am generally, like, every time, like, it comes on, I am so surprised how good it is. Which, I mean, let's be fair, it was the same way with Mando as well. I very much was like, man, this is so great. I can't believe this is so good every time I'd watch it. Partly because I think so many of the Star Wars movies have been bad. I'm looking at you, Solo, and The Last Skywalker or whatever. But I don't know. It makes me have that, like, holy shit, I feel like a kid, like, enjoyment, you know? Like, even the stuff that's dumb in it, like the stupid street bikers, like, I even really like those because they give this other view of something that, like, I haven't really seen in Star Wars before, right? This, like, weird kind of, like, pseudo-technical, like, pseudo-techno dumb, like, they have space Vespas and stuff. Like, but I kind of like it. Just because it's different. There we go, there's Brother Bacchus. I'm going to touch up them grenades now. So yeah, in the next set of Imperium, I think I get either a full set of these troops, or like a full set and a full set of Necrons. I think. No. In the next set, I get the unique character, who I could probably sell for way too much money if I really wanted. I get the unique to Imperium guy, and then maybe Necron, a whole Necron force, maybe. I know there's one in there in that set that just has paints, which is kind of a big letdown. But they all can't be winners, kind of thing, you know. I think I also get the painting handle next time, or the nippers or something like that. Time to break out the gunmetal. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm really enjoying Imperium. It's just a cool little, here's a nice little project kind of thing. You know? And it's nice because it really gives me something that I can, come on, thank you. That I feel like I can, like, look forward to, right? Like, every month. And that's pretty cool. To be like, oh man, yeah, Imperium's coming. That's great, you know? Alright, so this grenade's actually a different kind of grenades. I'm going to paint this one in silver so it stands out a little. All the other ones are these, like, pineapple looking grenades. This one's actually some kind of, like, round baseball grenade. I'm going to paint all the pins too. Oh, this one's actually a pineapple, a baseball grenade too. Alright, we'll paint that one too. Alright. Let's see. We can paint the sword, I guess. Paint the sword. But yeah. There we go. There we go. And paint sort of like the housing on the engine of the chainsword as well. Okay, well, let's paint the pipes on the face. We've got some face tubes. Face tube action. There we go. Do we want to paint the little thrusters on the backpack? I kind of do. I kind of do. Just add a little more detail. Anyway, same thing, we can paint these vents in here as well. But yeah, I was looking at Legion and I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of cool to do like a remnant stormtrooper force. That'd be kind of boss. But then I was like, no, I've got too many fucking projects. Right now I've got vampires, I've got Tau, I've got all these little projects, my Adeptus Titanicus stuff. Like, I really don't have the energy to start anything else. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're going to let him dry for a couple of minutes. While we'll do that, I'm going to grab this big fucker. We're going to get some color down where I missed it, since I've got some of the gunmetal out. So this guy is sprayed with gunmetal from Army Painter. It's generally a nice spray. But it tends to be sort of less reflective and less metallic than you want it to be. And as you use more and more out of the spray, it tends to get less and less. You tend to just get sort of like the metal color, but like less of the actual reflection stuff. Which is fine, but at the same time, like, it can be a little annoying. I don't mind it too much, to be honest, because I tend to come back and at least get a little bit of like dry brush down on everything again. Because this way, if I have to, literally just, there it is. If I have to come back and paint any mistakes that I make on this, it'll actually tie it in together, because I don't have a color that perfectly matches. As I stick my finger in the fucking shit, I don't have a color that perfectly matches how it comes out of the spray bottle. So, alright, I'm gonna pull these off since I need to fix them and repair them. We'll just keep putting some base coat down while we wait for our Marine friend to dry, and then we'll do clean up on Mr. Marine, and then he'll get some more wait time, and then he'll get washes, and he'll be done. And we will have finished our Marine. I could be working on Brother Bacchus right now, but I kind of just want to clean up this robot a little. So yeah. But I do have to say, this Adeptus Titanicus stuff, I had a really hard time like getting my head around painting it at first. But now that I've like worked out my color scheme, it's fucking really fun to paint. It's super, super fun to paint. I'm actually really looking forward to cleaning up the stuff on the Loyalist and doing lines. Because he's not going to get choppy lines, he's going to get really crisp lines. And I just think that'll be a lot of fun. I haven't done crisp lines in a while. I either do like sort of messy lines, like orc lines, or I do really purposefully choppy lines. So it'll be really fun to do kind of like very crisp kind of patterns. So I haven't done that in a while. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's cool. But yeah. It's very fun stuff to paint. I do wish the Adeptus Titanicus stuff was a little bit cheaper. I feel like it's unnecessarily expensive. Now, don't get me wrong. Everything from GW is unnecessarily expensive. I agree with that 100%. Their shit should be cheaper. But the Adeptus Titanicus stuff is the stuff that I feel like is like the biggest offender for that. Alright, we'll do one more batch of gunmetal on this Adeptus Titanicus model, and then we will go back to our Space Marine to finish him up. So yeah, they did a Axiom mana pool box, which is what I started off Adeptus Titanicus with. I picked that up pretty much because I was actually just going to use all the robots from it for kit bashes. And then I decided they were really cool models and I wanted them as is. But that box is like the best box they've ever, cost-wise, ever put out. You get like 3 free robots in that fucking box. And they only sold it for like a little time and then never again. And it's a real shame because it really is like the best cost per giant robot ratio GW makes was that Axiom Maniple box. Okay, I lied. We're gonna get all of the gunmetal down. I lied. So yeah, when I was working on these, I get caught up a lot in like doing things how they should be done and not how I want to do them. So I was really caught up in this idea that I needed to have all of the options to be able to make a competitive list in Adeptus Titanicus. And then it occurred to me that if I ever play Adeptus Titanicus with another person and don't just play it on the channel, it's going to be a chill time. It's not going to be a serious time. It's going to just be like derping around having fun. Like, I'm not going to be like entering Adeptus Titanicus tournaments or something if that even exists. So I was like, you know what? That's right. So I decided that I'm going to, that I was going to work on the idea of this like 2-player starter set, because then if I ever find someone who's willing to play it with me, and I ever get to play again, fuck you, COVID, you fucking douchebag. If I ever get to play again, seriously, I legitimately used to play like multiple times a week, guys. Like, no meme, I legitimately used to play at least 2 times a week. I'd play on the weekend, and then I'd play 1 weeknight every week. Not adeptus titanicus, but other stuff. Primarily Kill Team. Kill Team and Warcry. But yeah, like, if I ever manage to actually get this to the table, it would be a situation that I would want to be able to have like 2 sets to teach somebody, right? So I want to be able to have like 2 factions to show someone how it's done, right? And I was like, you know what, that's really what I wanted to do to begin with, and then I got this weird bug in my head that it needed to be like, I need to have all the competitive options or something, and then I was like, no, that's fucking stupid. It's not how I play games. It's like, why is my brain doing that to me? But it always does. Always does. Alright, so that's them. We got that all dry brushed on. We'll toss them over here. And we will finish up our friend, the Marine. We'll finish up Mr. Grenades. We'll get the blue out. Now it's time for some neat painting. Which means you can never go outside again. I forgot to paint the fucking gun handle. God damn it. And I forgot to paint the teeth on the chainsword. 1 second. Forgot to paint the chainsaw on your teeth. Gun handle here. Is there anywhere else I want to touch up with this metal color while I have it out? Don't think so. A couple areas I'd like to touch on with brown. Do I still have wet brown somewhere in the palette? I don't think I do. 1 second. And just the tiniest little dollop of brown. There we go. Got a couple little spots I'd like to touch up on his belt and stuff. Pretty much around just this couple of packages here. Just like that. This one in here like that. Perfect. Perfecto. Alright. Now comes the blue. Clean up. Before we do that, we should do his eyes. Fuck. What color should Space Marine eyes be? Do we have a nice orange? We do! They're gonna be nice orange. Yellow would probably be a better color, but it would be harder to get yellow to cover. So we're going to paint them in orange. I should be using the paint handle my husband got me. Ooh, that's messy. That's okay. That's the power of cleanup. You can't ever ruin a model. You can always go back and clean it up. Right, so just going along, and I'm going to tighten up all the lines. That's my goal here. All right. Clean up any obvious little bit of spillage that I did. It's not going to be Golden Demon perfect, but he'll look pretty damn cool. And that's the goal. Wind up with a cool looking Space Marine. But yeah, Adeptus Titanicus is sort of like, it's one of those games where like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna choose to do everything that I interact with this hobby with for me. I think that's probably the best way to be honest, for it. I think it's far too easy to be like, oh, shit. Oh, this is the right way to do this or whatever, you know? And I feel like that just gets in the way a lot of times of people's enjoyment. And it's no fun. You know? It's no fun at all. Especially not for me. I don't like that mindset. Really kind of wrecks the fun for me. So apparently Black Site Studios has a game called Lunar, which is like 1960s and 70s and 80s like space race. So like battles on the moon between like NASA and like the Russians. It's pretty cool. But again, that's another thing that I've been like, yeah, that'd be really cool to play. But then I was like, I'll literally never get a game of that. No one's gonna want to play that. Except for me. That I know of, so it's like, you know, maybe I would with some of my friends. That would be like, oh yeah, we'll give it a shot, or whatever. But with COVID, it's like, I don't know. With a bunch of them leaving the island this year, it's also like, I don't know, man. You know. All right, there he is. We got our spacemans. Come on, focus. All painted up. Gonna get ready for washes next. So while we let him dry for a minute, we're gonna work on the blue on some of the other ones as well. And now let's do the brown, I guess. They've got pouches and shit. We'll do that instead. Because I'd like to get it to where they all have, like one time where they all get blue at the end, and that's it. You know. We'll work on the pouches instead. Boop, 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 boop. So this guy, he just got some purity seals. That's what he got. And he got some extra pouches. Space Marines can never have too many pouches. Pouches are fucking cool. Whap. So yeah, we'll let our Space Marine dry. And then once he's dry, he'll get washes. He'll only take a couple minutes to dry. Let's be real. The paint isn't too thin coats perfect here, but it's not so bad. It's going to be a long time to dry. Boop, 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 boop. By the time I'm done painting the pouches on these two, he'll be ready to go. But yeah, like Lunar looks really cool, but like I don't see it ever getting to the table, so I think it's gonna be one of those things that I think is really neat, but I'm gonna pass on. Partly because I'm really enjoying Legion at the moment, probably because of Boba Fett. And because I just have so many fucking other projects already. I mean, we spent the entire beginning of the stream looking at them, right? Like just looking at all of the projects on my desk. So I don't really need a new project to start right now. So I need to finish up some of the ones I have. If I could get these Chaos guys done, I think I'd be pretty good. Because the Tau I want to heavily customize. So, like, if I don't get them done, like, right away, I'm okay with that. I want to heavily customize them. I actually want to turn them into space otters. So... Okay, if they take a little while, I'd like to get back to working on my Soul Blight, because they're really cool. They're really cool. Brother Bacchus, do you have a belt? You do. You also have a big sword scabbard that could also be brown. But yeah, a Warcry warband with like the Varg's gear and stuff, and it would be badass. I think with the vampires, I'm a little put off having to do all of the like troops. Having to paint all the really tiny zombies, I think, is a little bit of a setback for me, like mentally. But it's okay. I just need to get over that, because I think they'll be really fun once I start painting them. They just, you know, they set my brain back a little, and I'm like, ugh. It would actually be really cool to try the, there's a campaign for Cursed City in the Tome of Champions. Actually be really fun to try that out. Get my model all painted up for that. Alright. Go, Brother Bacchus. We're going to set you down. We're going to go back to our little spaceman. We're going to hit him with some of that juice. Give me that liquid skill. Where you at, liquid skill? There it is. Right there. Liquid skill in a fucking bottle. We're gonna hit our spaceman with it. Give me that big 6. Yeah, this will darken him down a little. I don't think it's going to be terrible. Worst case, we can always hit him with a highlight if we want to. Don't think I'm going to highlight these guys. I think they're probably going to be pretty great as they are, to be honest. Maybe I will. I don't know. You know, I always say I'm going to do highlights, but I never really do. I'm really not like a big highlight fan. Sometimes I do volumetric painting after this, or I will do or I'll do dry brushing. I very rarely do traditional highlights after I do washes. Yeah, and there we go. Let's get some of the wash out of the eye divots. See the orange a little bit better. It's still going to be a little subtle, but it's okay. You still have a little bit of that glint. That's all I really want out of it. Oh, we're way too close. There we go. Yep, there he is. We'll give him a couple minutes to dry, and then we'll come back and check on him. And while we do that, we'll get some more gunmetal out, and we'll work on the other Marines. Boo, 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 boo. Little pain in his belt. Remember to paint the teeth in on the chainsword. Yeah. Man. I don't know. I feel like COVID's really... It's done so much damage. And it's so strange, like... I used to love, like, social situations where there was a lot of people. Like, it used to actually, like, super calm me down. But now all it does is just freak me the fuck out. Like, my work was having this wellness day thing. Everyone was out having fun, playing cornhole, like bullshitting, and I walked out to go to it. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be cool. And then just the group of people, I was like, no, I need to leave. I need to not be here. You know, and it's weird, right? Because I'm like fully vaxxed. I'm like triple vaxxed. But man, it just fucking just fills me with fucking dread. Same thing, I went to the hobby shop two weeks ago on Saturday. And I walked in because I was trying to find some Night Haunt. And they were having a Magic the Gathering tournament. And I legitimately like for a split second debated just turning around and walking out the door and just not being there. It's just super weird, you know, like just before I'd be like, yeah, this is cool, look, everybody's enjoying their hobby and having fun, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. So like I looked for like one thing at the hobby store and then they didn't have it and I left. It's just weird, you know? Just weird, you know? How that's changed from, like, you know, being super hyped by big crowds and enjoying them to being like, yeah, I'm gonna not be here. Just weird. Like I feel like COVID like broke something in my brain with that. It's very strange. I could legitimately probably finish painting up all these Imperium guys on stream, but I kind of want to I want to do a video call with my sister since she just got out of the hospital. Check up on her, see how she's doing. Give her a ring. And, yeah. I talked to her via chat a little this morning, but, by chat I mean text, but not, I actually like see her and say hi. My friend was asking if I wanted to play Battletech this weekend, which I probably would have gone and done. So I think we were just going to play at his house. The stuff with my sister, I didn't know if I would have the energy for it, to be honest, because I've been I don't know. My depression and anxiety has been kicking my fucking ass these last couple weeks. Like, really bad. Like, holy shit levels bad. So, I didn't know if I would have the energy with everything going on with my sister. And then everything with her seems to be working out, which is pretty great. So it's sort of giving me that burst of energy. I think now I'm going to end up playing that Warcry campaign in the morning. And I think I'm going to be watching The Expanse with some friends in the afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't even know if I'm on camera anymore. I'm just kind of zoning out. Like, I'm just kind of in the zone painting. I don't even know if I'm on camera. I'm just sort of like derp 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 derp, just sort of, yeah. I just love fucking mini painting, man. Like, it's funny, right? Like, I super love all these little hobbies, like Gunpla and like minis, and so just like it gives you this like weird like zen escape that like nothing else does, you know? And like even when I'm doing something stupid, right, like this, like just putting in the base coats for these, right, and like doing a pretty sloppy shitty job, like it's just so relaxing. It just occurred to me I didn't paint the pageantry on the guy's shoulder. I should do that. It's the thing I should do. Alright, so we'll use up the rest of this gunmetal. And then I will do that. And my initial brain response there is, oh shit, he's already painted. How am I going to do the pageantry now? And then I remembered, dry brushing exists. Or I guess pseudo dry brushing in this case. Put Brother Rockus over there. Alright, let's find a white. I know I've got one on my desk somewhere. Here we go. Spaceship exterior. Nope, the wrong one. Spaceship exterior. Like the best off-white that I've ever found. It's a super bright gray. And it covers extremely well and behaves really well. It's like the best. Alright. So, what we're going to do, we're going to essentially pseudo dry brush with a real brush. Just kind of quickly and just barely touch it and drag our brush around. I have just the tiniest amount of paint on here. I'm just making the tiniest little touches. Trying to his ultramarine symbol here filled in. Right. What I'm trying to do is paint with the act of dragging the brush across the symbol, not paint by like trying to actually put the paint on the symbol. So it's these weird little up and down motions, right? I'm just barely touching the model. It's the same motion I'd be taking if I was dry brushing, right? I'm just trying to get it to just like the tiniest bit of touching here and there, right? Like trying to not really put a ton of pressure on it. I only want it to touch when it passes over the raised area. There we go. This one's pretty uneven, so we're going to try to finish that up. Get it cleaned up a little bit more. I much prefer decals over these raised things. That's because I traditionally come from Gunpla, so doing decals and stuff are much easier for me than this kind of painting. Alright, so those will get hit with Known Oil once they're dry. And then our friend here, Brother Grenades, will be all painted up. Yeah, there he is. That's one of the Imperium. It's one of the Imperium Assault Intercessors. Painted like an Ultramarine. So I've got 2 more of those to finish painting up. They're almost done. And then I've got Brother Bacchus, who, yeah, it's coming along. And then I'll be all ready for the next set of Imperium, because the Necrons in this, I'm going to Kip Ash living hell out of them, so I'm not going to worry about having them painted before the next one. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm just going to use up the rest of this white paint, and then I'm going to call it. And hopefully it was fun to watch me paint some Imperium guys and bullshit about everything. And tomorrow I will be back with the entire Vermintide campaign for Warcry. It's probably going to be my my Caradron Overlords versus this Skaven. That's probably what it's going to be. It's going to be KO. Maybe it'll be something else. I don't know. I think KO fits pretty good, but I also haven't played my the guys that are obsessed with bones and beasts. What are they called? The Chaos Waste guys. Haven't played them in a hot minute. I'd kind of like to play them. They've got a lot of fun models and stuff. They've got a lot of fun rules with like moving stuff around and all. So I'd kind of like to give them a play. So maybe we'll do those instead. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's Brother Bacchus. Or not Brother Bacchus. That's Brother Grenades here. Brother Boom. He needs some washes on that symbol. And then he is golden. Probably actually do those washes right now, but we're not going to risk it. But yeah, that's what we got done today. And then a bunch of other work on the other ones. I got probably 30 minutes, and the other 3 Marines are done of work for them. So that's pretty cool too. So he's looking pretty good, looking pretty spaceman-y. And yeah, we'll get them top coated and based before the next set comes out. We'll be ready to rock. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it. Thank you for watching. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to play some Warcry. And keep on keeping on.